rápido. Yes, sir. There was a boxer right here. I gave a game ball to.
Yeah, but then we need extra.
No, no. We got them all. Huh? I gave one to each. Yeah, each. see if we're on. I can't get it up on my phone. Can I just click right on it?
Yeah, go ahead. Right.
Click on it?
Yep. You're on. Do you mind moving down a little bit? 'Cause I'm gonna have Andrew. Sometimes I gotta finish them up for CCDs, but back in Monday.
Live from check, check. Live from the live from check, check. Live from the live from live from the live live from the Live from the softball complex on the campus of College Staten Island, you're watching exclusive coverage of CSI softball and the CUNYAC championships right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon, the College of Staten Island will look to extend their consecutive championship streak to 6 as they will play Baruch College in the first game of the 2018 CUNYAC tournament, followed by Hunter College against Lehman College about 20 minutes after the conclusion of the first game. As you look out on the field, you see the College of Staten Island picking up their regular season championship after winning another regular season championship here, and as we mentioned, looking to extend their record to 6 consecutive championships in the CUNYAC Conference. They'll face a Baruch College team today that is still looking to rebuild their program a little bit. So it'll be the Dolphins and the Bearcats here this afternoon. The College of Staten Island coming in red hot into this tournament and have really picked up their statistics as a team and have continued to play winning softball here. As you hear the Baruch Bearcats beginning to be introduced on the field, let's set you up a little bit with the action that's going to happen today and tomorrow here at the CUNYAC Championships. Both the softball and baseball championships taking place here at the CSI and baseball and softball complexes, respectively. The men's baseball tournament will get back in action in game number 2 this afternoon as Finlandia will play Baruch College in game number 1, and CSI will await the winner of that game at approximately 3 o'clock this afternoon, and then there'll be one final game to take place at approximately 6 o'clock. Here in the Women's Softball Championship, we'll get you started with the number 1 CSI Dolphins facing the Baruch College Bearcats. That will be followed by number 2 Hunter College. They'll play number 3 Lehman College in game number 2. The third game of this afternoon will take place between the two teams that don't win games numbers 1 and 2, respectively. And the final game this afternoon will take place between the winners of game 1 and game 2. The College of Staten Island coming in as a solid favorite in the tournament here in 2018. They were undefeated in CUNYAC play. They've really started to pick up their play and play very well as they go down the stretch here in this CUNYAC season. It'll be Nicolette Trapani on the mound for the Dolphins here this afternoon. Nicolette coming off of a big year in her senior year for the CSI Dolphins, and she'll look to continue to extend her personal winning streak here this afternoon. For the Bearcats, it will be Victoria Kisling on the mound as the Dolphin starters and Bearcat starters are beginning to get introduced out on the field. And we're just moments away from the start of game number 1 here this afternoon between the Dolphins and the Bearcats. Dolphins 20-10 overall on the season, a season high 10 games over 500. They've won their last consecutive 8 games and are undefeated in conference play. So the Dolphins once again able to dominate in conference play here in 2018. For the Baruch College Bearcats, a program that's continuing to rebuild. They finished at 10-16 overall, 6-6 in CUNYAC conference play, and they come in here this afternoon as the number 4 seed in this tournament. We mentioned before, Victoria Kisling will start game number 1. Victoria 4-8 on the year, a 7.31 ERA, and she's going to look to take on Nicolette Trapani. Trapani 9-6, a season high, 3 games over 500 on the year, and she looks to extend that here this afternoon. The winners, as we mentioned in the first game, will advance into the winners game. So we're going to step aside now and take a break for the national anthem. Then we'll be back to bring you the starting lineups and the start of game number 1 of the CUNYAC Championships. We'll be right back. We're back, and we're just moments away from the start of this afternoon's 4 games between the to decide the 39th annual CUNYAC Championship. Game number 1 featuring the College of Staten Island versus the Baruch College Bearcats. We already mentioned Nicolette Trapani will be on the mound for the Dolphins. Trapani coming into today's game with a record of 9-6 overall, a season high 3 games over 500, and she will look to build that record here this afternoon. And here is the lineup that Trapani will face this afternoon. Leading off and playing shortstop, Cassandra Lagana. Batting second and playing left field, Gabrielle Hueso. Batting third and playing second base, Che Padron. Batting fourth and playing center field, Nicole Bellini. Batting fifth and catching, Danielle Petruti. Batting sixth and pitching, Victoria Kissling. Batting seventh and playing first base, Kately Vijas. Batting eighth and playing right field, Abra Jagarin. And batting ninth and playing third base will be Juyu Park. As we mentioned, for the Dolphins, it will be Nicolette Trapani on the mound for the Dolphins. And let's get a look at the defense that will be backing up Trapani here this afternoon. Back at first base, it'll be Jamie Holmes. Christian Marr will be at second. Patricia Riches around at short. Antoinette Galbo at third. Gabrielle De Leon will get the start in left field here this afternoon. Christina Severiso will be in center. Juliana Quintella will be around in right. Vanessa Joya will be on the mound, and it will be Nicolette Trapani making the start here for the CSI Dolphins this afternoon. Trapani coming in with a record of 9-6, a 2.34 ERA. This is her 17th appearance, her 16th start. She has 13 complete games, 4 shutouts in 92 and 2/3 innings. She's allowed 86 hits, 33 runs, 31 earned, walked 17, and struck out 91. So another great year to finish off the 4-year career of Nicolette Trapani, and she'll look to get the Dolphins on a good start here this afternoon as Cassandra Lagana will step in to lead off as we get ready for the first pitch of the 39th annual CUNYAC Softball Championship, and it'll be taken for a strike, 0-1. Lagana coming in batting .395, 34 of 86, 4 doubles, a triple, and 13 RBIs as that pitch will be taken up high for a ball, and that'll even the count up now at 1-1. As we mentioned before, the Dolphins coming in looking to defend their 5-time CUNYAC championships. As that time Trapani looked to take something off of the pitch, came in high, and she falls behind early in the count now at 2-1. The 2-ball, 1-strike pitch is going to be fouled off over the Bearcat dugout and out of play, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. We already mentioned it, and we'll be bringing you updates all day long, but the men's baseball championship taking place today as well, day 2, which will begin shortly at 12 o'clock as Baruch plays Finlandia. As that pitch is bounced back to the mound on a hop, played there by Trapani. She'll get it over to Holmes in time for the out. 1 up, 1 down for the Bearcats here this afternoon. The Dolphins, of course, played the Bearcats twice this year. 2 shutouts. Nicolette picked up the shutout in game number 1 of that game. As the first pitch is going to be a swing on the foul ball. 0-1 is Gabrielle Hueso, the batter. Trapani won that game by a score of 8-0, a dominant pitching performance for Nicolette. As she winds, and the 0-1 pitch is taken down low for a ball. That'll even the count up now at 1-1. Trapani on the mound looking to work quickly. And now she'll step off for just a minute. Give us a chance to give you Gabrielle Hueso's numbers. She's 13 of 56, 2 doubles and 18 RBIs for the Bearcats. She'll be in the number 2 spot here in game number 1. Looks like it's going to be a real hot day here this afternoon. Sun not out yet as that's grounded to second, and that'll be off the glove of Marr and into center field, and that'll be in there for a base hit. So that'll be the first hit allowed by Trapani, and that will bring up the second baseman, the left-handed batter, Jay Padron. Padron batting in at even 300 on the year. 2 extra base hits, a double, a triple, and 19 RBIs. Big left-handed batter playing second base this afternoon for the Bearcats, who takes the first pitch at the knees for a strike, 0-1. First of 4 games here this afternoon. And the pitch is going to be a swing and a miss, 0-2. So Trapani quickly ahead in the count now, 0-2. The dangerous Nicole Bellini, center fielder, on deck here for the Bearcats. And the 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Trapani strikes out Padron on 3 pitches for the second out. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Nicole Bellini. Two out, 1 on, just underway here in the top of the first. The pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Trapani on the mound. She's ready. The pitch is taken for a strike. That'll even the count up at 1-1. We mentioned the ability of Bellini leading the team in batting, 449, 35 of 7 for 78, including 10 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 15 RBIs as she takes that pitch high for a ball. And now Trapani falls behind in the count, 2-1. Bellini, a dangerous batter, so we'll see if Trapani works carefully to her. With the runner on as that pitch is down low for a ball. Now she falls behind in the count at 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to count. As Trapani looks in for the sign, she's ready. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and foul back off the light pole and back onto the field, and that'll run the count full to 3-2. Dolphins 12-0 in conference play this year. The Bearcats finishing 4th, going 6-6. Trapani ready. The pitch is swung on, and that's drilled down the right field line, but foul out of play. And the count holds at 3-2. So Hueso will go back to first base as the ball retrieved, and Trapani will get ready to make the 3-2 pitch once again. Bellini ready. And the 3-2 pitch is swung out and grounded off the foot of Trapani. She fields, guns it over to first base in time for the final out. So Trapani makes the play with her foot, gets it over to first base, and the Bearcats are retired in their half of the first inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left, 1 half inning in the books with the score. The Bearcats nothing, the Dolphins coming to bat. You're listening to the 39th annual CUNYAC Athletics Moldale Sporting Goods Softball Championship right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the first inning. The Bearcats able to get a one-out base runner on the one-out single by Gabriel Hueso into right field, but that's as far as she could get as Nicolette Trapani came back to strike out Patron and Bellini to end the first inning, and now it will be the Dolphins' opportunity to bat against Victoria Kissling here in the bottom half of the first inning, and let's bring you that CSI Dolphin lineup. Leading off and playing shortstop will be Patricia Riches. Batting second and playing third base, Antoinette Galbo. Batting third and catching, Vanessa Joya. Batting fourth, playing first base, Jamie Holmes. Batting fifth, the designated player, Allison Marr. Batting sixth in left field, Gabrielle De Leon. Batting seventh and playing center field, Christina Severiso. Batting eighth and playing right field will be Juliana Cretella. And batting ninth and playing second base will be Christian Marr. Nicolette Trapani will be on the mound, but she'll be the flex player here, and she will not bat in this game here this afternoon. To take a look at the Bearcats defensively, Caitlin Vijas at first base, Che Padron at second, Cassandra Lagana at short, Ju Young Park will be around at third, Gabrielle Hueso in center, in right, left I should say, Nicole Bellini in center, Amba Jagarin in right, Danielle Petruti on the mound, Victoria Kissling on the mound, and she will face Patricia Riches. Riches continuing her hot hitting, is really heated up as the season's gone along, and takes the first pitch for a strike 0-1. Her batting average now up to .458, 44 of 96 with 22 extra base hits, 16 doubles, 4 triples, 2 homers, and 21 RBIs, and an on-base percentage of .514. Kissling winds, and the pitch is taken down low for a ball, 1-1. We promised you Kissling's numbers, and we'll get you to them in just a minute as she gets ready for the 1-1 pitch now. And here it comes, and that's up high for a ball, 2-1. Kissling coming in with a 4-8 record. This is her 13th appearance, all starts, all complete games through today. In 68 innings, she's allowed 111 hits, 94 runs, just 71 earned, as Riches reaches out and fouls that one back up over our head. That'll even the count up at 2-2. She has 2 shutouts on the year in 73 in the third innings, 130 hits, 68 innings, 111 hits, 94 runs, 71 earned, walked 33, and struck out 53. Kissling winds, the pitch to Riches is lashed into left field, and that's going to be it for a base hit. Hueso will go in and play it quickly. Riches hustling into second will make it in there, and I believe that'll be a single and an error as Patricia Riches wastes no time. First she lashes the ball into left field. Hueso a little bit of problem playing the ball out in left field, and that was all the opening that Riches needed to motor it to second base. So she'll be there with no one out, and that'll bring up third baseman Antoinette Galbo. The wind as Galbo bunts it back to the mound. It's going to be played there by Kissling. The throw over to second just in time. Beautiful defensive play that time by the Bearcats. As Galbo will be out on the sacrifice, 1-4 for the first out, which is all the way around to third base. So she'll be on third base with 1 out, and that will bring up Vanessa Joya. Galbo has come into this CUNYAC championship, getting her average up to 400. Another Dolphin that's been red hot as of late. The wind and the pitch to Joya. It's taken for a strike, 0-1. Vanessa batting .380 on the year. 27 of 71. 7 doubles, 2 triples. No home runs, 22 RBIs. Kissling winds the 0-1 to Joya. Nice pitch that time by Kissling. She took a little bit off that. Had Vanessa out in front, and she falls behind at 0-2. Dolphins threatening, trying to get on the board here in the bottom half of the first inning. And the 0-2 pitch to Joya is taken up high for a ball, 1-2. Dolphins getting their team batting average up to .321. Their home run total up to 9. 4 different players have homered for the Dolphins this year. As that pitch is down low for a ball, and Joya works her way back even in the count now at 2-2. Kissling back on the mound now. Big moment in the game for Kissling and the Bearcats. The 2-2 pitch is taken down low for a ball, 3-2. Joy gave it a good look, but followed it outside and has worked her way all the way back to a full count, down 0-2. Kissling looking in for the sign now. Comes the 0-2 pitch, is swung on, and that's blooped towards second. Padron can't play it. It's off her glove, and everyone will be safe on the play, and we'll wait for the official scoring, but the Dolphins will take a 1-0 lead as Joy is on first base, and that's going to be scored an error on the second baseman, which is, I believe Joya will be given the RBI on the play. And the Dolphins lead now 1-0 with a runner on first base and Jamie Holmes up. Jamie, another Dolphin hitter that's been red hot of late. She missed a couple of games resting down the stretch, getting ready. And the Dolphins hope she comes out swinging the bat the way she's been in 2018. 390 on the year, 2 homers, 25 RBIs. Second on the team in doubles with 14. As she swings and misses at the high fastball, that'll even the count up 1-1. Down the stretch, prior to the last couple of doubleheaders, Jamie, a lot of big hits for the Dolphins, and seems like she's hitting the ball hard in almost every at-bat. The 1-1 pitch is skied up into the air into short center field. Padron going back on the ball, and she's unable to make the play. It's going to be off her glove. Joya able to go to second. And she'll hold right there, and now she's going to look to go to third as the Bearcats having a lot of trouble fielding the softball here, and Joy is able to end up all the way on third base at the play as Holmes ends up at first base as the Bearcats with another error, this time on the pop-up. Joya ends up going to third base, and now the Bearcats charged with 3 errors here in the bottom half of the first inning. And you know, this is a Bearcat team that was going to have challenges staying with the Dolphins here this afternoon, but if you're not going to make the plays cleanly out in the field, they're not going to have any chance at all, and they find themselves now in trouble early. 3 errors charged already here to the Bearcats, and now all of a sudden the Dolphins threatening with Allison Marr up at the plate. Allison starting to get slid into the DH spot by head coach Stella Porto as they get her ready and try to get her bat heated up here for the CUNYAC championships and hopefully an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament for the 6th consecutive year. Maud down in the count now, 0-1. The pitch, Allison, is way up high for a ball that'll even the count up at 1-1. Ma, her average up to 246, 14 of 57, including 3 home runs and 14 RBIs. Kissling ready. The 1-1 is down low for a ball. And Baruch getting themselves in all kinds of trouble here in the bottom half of the first. Game number 2 will pit Hunter against Lehman, 2-3. As that pitch to Barr is down low for a ball. And now the Dolphins 1 pitch away from loading the bases. Three-1 the count. And here comes the 3-1 pitch as Marr takes a big cut and a miss. And the count runs full to 3-2. Left fielder Gabrielle De Leon on deck here for the Dolphins. They have 1 run across, looking for more. Trying to take advantage of 3 early Bearcat errors as Marr probably chases ball forward, pops it into shortstop as Lagana is able to make the catch, and coming in to score on the play will be Joya And going all the way around to third will be Jamie Holmes, as that was a short fly ball into short left field, and Lagana made the catch backpedaling, and Joya didn't hesitate. She came around to score. Holmes came all the way around to third, and once again the Bearcats struggles in the field, give the Dolphins their second run of the first inning, and they lead by a score of 2-0. So Kissling will try to stop the bleeding right here. And De Leon looking for more for the Dolphins. The first pitch to De Leon is taken for a strike, 0-1. Gabrielle batting .361 on the year. She's 22 of 61, 12 runs, a double, and 18 RBIs. Kissling looking in for the sign, and the 0-1 pitch is down low for a ball. That'll even the count up now at 1-1. Dolphins have not hit the ball hard in this inning, other than the single by Riches to start the game. But from there, it's been a series of tough plays out in the field for the Bearcats, and that opened the Dolphins to get their second run of the afternoon, and they're looking for more with Jamie Holmes down at third base, 2 outs, and a 2-1 count on De Leon. Kissling ready, the 2-1, up high for a ball, and the count now goes to 3-1. Christina Severiso on deck here for the Dolphins, who've gotten themselves out to a 2-run lead here on 1 hit in the first. The pitch is swung on and drilled to center field. Bellini going back in right center field, and she'll make the catch for the final out of the inning, but not before the Dolphins score a couple of runs. 1 hit, they take advantage of 3 Bearcat errors, and they leave 1. 1 inning in the books. Dolphins lead by a score of 1-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the top half of the second inning. Nicolette Trapani, who pitched a shutout the last time she faced the Bearcats, is staked to a 2-0 lead, as the Dolphins are able to take advantage of a leadoff single by Patricia Riches, and then some struggles in the field by the Bearcats. And the Dolphins now lead by a score of 2-0, as it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Petrudi, Kissling, and Vijas for the Bearcats here against Nicolette Trapani. Petrudi, a .260 hitter, swings, grounds it to first. Holmes will play it. She'll step on the bag unassisted. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Bearcats in their half of the second inning. Petrudi coming in batting .260 on the year, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Victoria Kissling. Kissling batting .250 on the year for the Bearcats, and even 18 of 72. 9 runs scored. She actually leads the team with 23 runs scored, 5 doubles, a homer, and 12 RBIs, and is down in the count now at 0-1. Trapani winds the 0-1, swing and a miss. Trapani ahead in the count now, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, as Trapani winds the 0-2. Just down low for a ball, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, no one on here in the top half of the second inning. Just underway, first of 4 games here at the 39th annual CUNYAC Softball Championships. Right here on CSI Sportsnet, as that pitch was taken just up high for a ball to even the count up at 2-2. The wind, the 2-2 pitch is swung on and skied in the air to right field. Drifting over, and there to make the play in right will be Quintella for the second out of the inning. Juliana playing a strong right field all year long for the Dolphins. 2 up, 2 down quickly here for the Bearcats. And Caitlin Vikas will be the batter. Caitlin, a .290 batter on the year, 20 of 69, 2 extra base hits, both doubles, and 15 RBIs. And she takes the first pitch up high for a ball now, 1-0. Trapani looking in, the 1-0 on the outside corner at the knees. That'll even up the count now at 1-1. Trapani looking to work quickly. She's ready. The 1-1. Down low for a ball. 2-1. Nicolette looking to get herself into a little bit of a groove here. Dolphins have not played in almost a week, as that one is going to be fouled off and out of play. And that'll even the count up at 2-2. The Dolphins' last action was Senior Day right here at the CSI Softball Complex, as the Dolphins swept the doubleheader from the John Jay Bloodhounds. As that pitch is swung on and drilled down the right field line, that'll be foul out of play, and the count will hold at 2-2. Dolphins finished off their undefeated CUNYAC season in that game, extended their winning streak. Was scheduled to play the following day against nationally ranked William Patterson. That game canceled, as that ball's going to be popped up and right into the Bearcat dugout, and the count will hold at 2-2. Vikas getting ready to get back into the box now. And the 2-2 once again taken. Strike 3 call. Beautiful pitch by Trapani. She took something off that one and picks up a second strikeout of the afternoon. For the Bearcats, no runs, no hits, no one left. 1.5 innings in the books. Dolphins lead the Bearcats by a score of 2-0. We'll step aside and take a break. You're watching the 39th Annual CUNYAC Athletic Conference Model Sporting Goods Softball Championships right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the second inning. The Dolphins lead in this game by a score of 2-0, and the Bearcats, who committed 3 errors in their half of the first inning, 3 charged errors, and had a couple of other tough plays in the field, fortunate to find themselves down by a score of 2-0, but they're going to need to tighten up their defense immediately, or they're going to really find themselves in a major struggle here this afternoon against the College of Staten Island. And the Bearcats coming into today's game having committed 81 errors in just 26 games will need to tighten up in the field, as Christina Severiso will read off for the Dolphins, and she'll take the first pitch for a strike 0-1. Severiso, her average now up to 345, as she's been another Dolphin player that's been red hot offensively coming down the stretch here this year. And that pitch to Severiso is taken up high for a ball, 1-1. Christina, 19 of 55, 11 runs scored, 4 doubles, and 10 RBIs. Kissling looking in the 1-1 is down low for a ball, and now Severiso works herself ahead in the count at 2-1. Severiso leading off here in the bottom half of the second inning. And the Dolphins find themselves in front 2-0. And the pitch to Severino is up high for a ball, 3-1. Kissling walked 33 batters in 68 innings coming into the game here this afternoon. And down in the count 3-1 as that pitch is way up high for a ball 4 up. So Severiso draws the base on balls. The 8th walk for Severiso on the year. She'll go down to first base with nobody out, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Juliana Quintella. Quintella batting .339 on the year, 19 of 56, 20 runs scored, 5 doubles, 6 RBIs as she shows bunt and bunts it up into the crowd. And the count goes to 0-1. So head coach Stella Porter looking for the sacrifice here in inning number 2, looking to get that 3rd run across the board. As Quintella shows bunt on the first pitch, fouls it off, down in the count now, 0-1. She bunts once again, and it's popped up in the air. It's going to be played there at third, and the throw over to first base will not be in time, as that time Park able to come in on the bunt pop out. And that'll be the first out as Quintella cannot sacrifice, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Christian Marr. Marr coming in batting .128 on the year. With 1 out now and a runner on first, the pitch is a swing and a miss, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike on Marr. Severiso on first base. She drew a leadoff walk with 1 out. She shows bunt and bunts it back towards the mound. It's played there by Kissling. The throw over to first base will be in time. As I believe Marr, I'm not sure she'll get credit for the sacrifice on that one, but the scoring will be 1-4 on the play. And that will send Severiso down to second base with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Patricia Riches. Riches wasted no time lining a 2-2 pitch into left field for a hit. I don't believe they scored an error on that play, and Riches ended up on second. So not sure if that was a double or a single and an error. As the pitch to Riches is swung on and drilled foul down the third base line, 0-1. Nonetheless, Riches came around to score her team-leading 37th run on that play to give the Dolphins their 1-0 lead, and she now has a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second. Kissling looking in. The 0-1 on Riches is swung on and drilled into deep left center field. That ball is far, and that ball is going to be over the head of the center fielder Bellini and against the wall. Coming in to score easily on the play will be Severiso. Riches will be down on second base, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 3-0. And that's going to be scored a double on the play and an RBI for Riches. So once again, Kissling not getting much help by her defense here. And the Dolphins now lead by a score of 3-0. Bellini was there and looked like she might have had an opportunity to make the play, but it went over her head as Riches hit that ball hard. And the Dolphins now with 3 runs on just 2 hits on the afternoon, as Victoria Kissling just not getting the defensive support that she needs for the Bearcats to compete with the Dolphins here in game number 1. Down 3-0 with the extremely dangerous Antoinette Galbo at bat. As that pitch is inside for a ball, 2-0. We mentioned Antoinette, her batting average up over 400 now at 404 on the year. She scored 32 runs. She's 38 of 94, 5 doubles, 5 triples, 2 homers, 20 RBIs, and she also leads the team in sacrifices with 10 as she drills that one down the left field line, but foul out of play, and that will even the count up now, or run the count, I should say, to 2-1. Dolphins 3 runs, 2 hits. The Bearcats just charged with 3 errors, but they've had at least 3 other plays out in the field they haven't been able to make, and it's cost them. And the Dolphins have taken advantage to jump out 3-0 as Galbo lines that one down the right field line, foul and out of play. And Kissling works her way back even in the count now at 2-2. We knew it was going to be hot here this afternoon, but the sun has been behind clouds, so real beautiful, actually perfect softball weather here. Big 4 games in day number 1 of the CSI, of the CUNYAC Softball Championships, as Galbo fouls that one back, and the count will hold at 2-2. We mentioned the baseball championships about to get underway right up the hill at the CSI Baseball Complex. 3 games in day number 2 in the baseball championships before day 3 in the finals tomorrow. The 2-2 on Galbo is swung on in that drill down the left field line, foul out of play. Count holds 2-2. As Galbo making Kissling work here. As she's now extended the at-bat to 7 pitches. Kissling ready. The 2-2, and Galbo tomahawks that one into right field. Drifting back, and there to make the catch is Jangarine for the final out of the inning. So the Dolphins score a run on a hit, a walk, they leave 1. 2 complete in the books with the score. Dolphins 3, Bearcats nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching game number 1 of the CUNYAC Softball Championships right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the top half of the 3rd inning. The Dolphins lead this game by a score of 3-0. They've been credited with 2 hits on the afternoon, both by Patricia Riches. Riches has already doubled twice, scored a run, and drove in a run, and the Dolphins lead here by a score of 3-0. And Victoria Kissling has pitched very well for the Bearcats, but Baruch has been struggling out in the field, and that's opened the door for the Dolphins and a 3-0 lead. So for the Bearcats now in their half of the 3rd inning, it will be 8-9-1. Jangarine, Park, and Lagana against Nicolette Trapani. Trapani allowing just 1 hit through the first 2 innings here this afternoon. And the first pitch here in the top half of the 3rd inning is going to be taken for a strike, 0-1. Aber coming into the game, batting .219 on the year, 14 of 64, 2 doubles, a triple, and 9 RBIs, and now falls behind in the count at 0-2. Trapani looking in the 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So Trapani picks up her 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. 1 up, 1 down, and it will bring up the 9th place hitter, Zhu Young Park. Park in limited at-bats, just 1 hit on the afternoon. batting 0-53, and she takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Park showing bunt here, pulls the bat back, and a swing and a miss, and Trapani quickly ahead in the count now at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and that pitch will be swing and a miss, strike 3. So Trapani strikes out the last 3 in a row. She now has 4 on the afternoon. And it'll take us back up to the top of the lineup, and Cassandra Lagana. Lagana bounced back to Trapani in the first. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the first pitch grounded back to the mound. Once again, past Trapani, but Ma there to play it. She guns it over to first in time for the final out of the inning. So Trapani has now retired the last 8 Bearcats she's faced. For Baruch in their half of the third, nothing across, 2.5 innings in the books with the score. Dolphins 3, Bearcats nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching the 39th Annual CUNY Athletic Championships right here on CSI Sportsnet. CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the third inning. The Dolphins lead in this game by a score of 3-0, and a quick pitching change here for the Bearcats as Cassandra Lagana is going to come into the game for the Bearcats. I thought Kisling pitched extremely well for Baruch in her 2 innings. She gave up 3 runs, but that was hardly her fault. But Cassandra Lagana will come in, and Victoria Kisling will go out and play shortstop. And, you know, it might be a decision here by the Baruch Bearcats and head coach Victoria Tiso in her first year to maybe save Kisling for the second game of the afternoon. So we'll have to see how that strategy unfolds, but it will be Lagana on the mound here as she'll face Joya, and Joya, first pitch swinging, grounds that one in the hole for a base hit. That ball is going to roll all the way to the wall, and Joya is going to end up on third base on the play. So once again, the Bearcat defense not doing their pitchers any favors as Joya ends up on third base after hitting a routine single to left and an error on the left fielder. And now all of a sudden the Dolphins threatening once again with a runner at third base, no one out, and Jamie Holmes the batter. Joya also reached on an error in her first at-bat, got an RBI, and drove in the Dolphins. First run of the afternoon, and the pitch to Holmes is taken up high for a ball, 1-0. Jamie hit a pop-up to second base in the first inning, but Padron could not make the play, so Holmes reached on an error. She's 0 for 1 as that pitch is going to be over the head of the catcher Petrudi, but no advance by Joya, and the count now 2-0 on Holmes. Probably a good decision by Joya. Any doubt? Dolphins swung off. Out of play 2-1. He's unable to make the catch on the play. That'll be a fair ball. Complete Lagana is going to be another error on the Bearcats that will allow Holmes to reach base once again. Bearcats charged with 5 errors, and it could have actually been more. As the Dolphins still not hitting the ball that hard. But the Bearcats unable to make the plays out in the field as Moss swings and drills that down the left field line. If that's fair, it's trouble. But it'll be foul, and the count goes to 0-1. Ma hit a fly ball into short left field. It was caught by the shortstop Lagana at the time. But Joya was able to come home and score. So Ma gets credit for a sacrifice fly and an RBI on the play. For the second run, that's a beautiful off-speed pitch taken just down low for a ball, and that evens the count up at 2-2. Nice pitch that time by Lagana as it'll count 1-1. Lagana winds the 1-1. It's taken for strike 1-2. Hawks and Lightning, game number 2. First of 4 here at the CSI Softball Complex. 39th Annual CUNYAC Championships as that ball's going to get away. Joy is going to come home and score. Holmes will go on to second. I'm going to score that a pass ball and a run scored for the Dolphins, and they lead 4-0 as the Bearcat defense continues to struggle here this afternoon, and it's really cost them as they're down by a score of 4-0. It would be tough for the Bearcats to compete with the Dolphins here this afternoon, but without being able to make the routine plays in the field, they're really taking away any opportunity they may have as the 2-2 pitch is going to be up high for a ball, and that's going to run the count full to Ma at 3-2. Open base for the Dolphins. Holmes down on second. Still nobody out. A hit and 2 errors have netted the Dolphins their 4th run of the afternoon as Ma swings and drills that one to left field. Drifting under it is Hueso, and she makes the catch for the out. So Ma hits that one deep to left, but the play made for the out. 1 out here for the Dolphins, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Gabrielle De Leon. Gabrielle fly to center in the first. She's 0 for 1. Lagana winds. The first pitch to De Leon is swung on, and that's drilled into left field. Hueso drifting back under it, and she's able to make the catch. Going over to third base on the play will be Holmes. So De Leon hit that ball hard as well, but a nice play by Hueso for the second out, and it's going to take a 2-out hit here for the Dolphins if they're going to bring home run number 5, and it'll bring up Christina Severiso. Severiso led off the second inning with a walk and came around to score on the Patricia Riches double. So she scored a run here this afternoon for the Dolphins. The pitch to Severiso, skied up in the air in the infield. Coming over is the third baseman, Park, and she makes the catch for the final out of the 3rd inning. Dolphins score a run on a hit, 2 Bearcat errors, 1 Dolphin left, 3 in the books. Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back and we're getting ready now for the top half of the fourth inning. Nicolette Trapani allowed a one-out single to Gabrielle Hueso with one out in the first inning, but that's been it for the Bearcats, as since then Nicolette has retired the last 8 Bearcats in a row and struck out 4 as the Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0. Dolphins with just 3 hits on the afternoon. It will be Hueso leading off, Padron and Bellini, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Bearcats this afternoon. Trapani looking in for the sign. And the first pitch is swung on and fouled off down the right field line and out of play, 0-1. Dolphins 5-time defending CUNYAC championships. Nicolette Trapani, the starting pitcher out on the mound for the Dolphins in her senior year, a 4-year starter. As that pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen, 0-2. Trapani has won a CUNYAC championship in the first 3 years of her career as a CSI Dolphin. Looking for number 4. Dolphins off to a good start here in game number 1 as they lead by a score of 4-0, as that's grounded to first. Holmes there to make the play, and she'll step on the bag for the out. 1 up, 1 down, and that's going to bring up the second baseman now, Jay Padron. Padron 0 for 1. She struck out in the first. Trapani looking in for the side now as the left-handed batter getting ready to face her. And she takes the first pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins play the Bearcats here in game 1. Hunter will play Lehman in game 2. As that pitch is swung on and popped up in the air in the infield, Gabo is there and she makes the catch easily for the second out. So Trapani has thrown 5 pitches here in the fourth, 2 out quickly. And that's going to bring up the number 4 hitter, Nicole Bellini. Bellini came into this game batting .449 on the year. She's 0 for 1, grounded back to Trapani. She actually hit the ball really hard off the foot of Trapani. A nice play by Nicolette to stay with it and get the out. And she gets ahead in the count now at 0-1. Game 3 this afternoon will take place between the teams that don't win games 1 and 2. The winners of games 1 and 2, as that's taken on the outside corner for a strike, that'll make the count 0-2. The winners of game numbers 1 and 2 will meet in the final game here this afternoon for the right to go into championship Saturday, needing only 1 victory to secure a CUNYAC championship, as that pitch is taken outside for a ball. And Bellini now finding herself down in the count 1-2. The 1-2 swung on and drilled down the right field line, foul. And the count will hold at 1-2. We're in the top half of the fourth inning. 2 out, nobody on here for Baruch. They trail by a score of 4-0 as that pitch is down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 2-2. Dolphins with just 3 hits, but 5 costly Bearcat errors have opened the way for 4 runs for the Dolphins. The Bearcats changing pitches in the bottom half of the third, as that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Trapani continues her dominance of the Bearcats. She's now retired the last 11 Bearcats in a row. Nothing across for Baruch. 3.5 in the books. 4-0 Dolphins. We'll step aside, take a break, as you're watching the 39th Annual CUNYAC Softball Championships right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're heading into the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0. And, for the CSI Dolphins, they really have not hit the ball that well in this game. They find themselves ahead by a score of 4-0. But the way that Baruch has had trouble fielding the softball, it could be a lot more. So the Bearcats actually fortunate to find themselves down by a score of 4-0. So let's see if they can stabilize the defense a little bit here in the bottom half of the fourth inning for the Dolphins. It's going to be 8-9-1 scheduled to bat Juliana Cristella, Christian Marr, and Patricia Riches. Cristella tried to bunt in the second inning. She popped up to third. She's 0 for 1. Lagana looking in for the sign. Here's her first pitch of the bottom of the fourth, and it's taken for a strike, 0-1. Dolphins 12-0 in regular season conference play. The Bearcats 6-6, and that pitch is up high for a ball, 1-1. Dolphins the 1 seed, Bearcats the 4th in this double elimination tournament. Dolphins 5-time consecutive CUNYAC softball champions, looking for number 6. The 1-1 is swung on, and that's drilled into left center field. Bellini is there, and she makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So Dolphins starting to square up the softball a little bit better. A couple of long fly balls to the outfield, but nothing to show for it. 4 in a row now retired by Lagana, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Christian Marr. Marr sacrificed in the second inning, getting Severiso over to second. And the first pitch to Marr, swinging a foul, back into the glove of Petrudi, 0-1. Lagana looking in for the sign now. And the 0-1 pitch is, she shows bunt, pulls the bat back, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Patricia Riches at the top of the Dolphin order on deck. 1 out, no one on for the Dolphins here in the bottom of the fourth. The pitch, swing and a miss, 1-2. Christian looking to get herself on track offensively here for the Dolphins. 5 of 39 on the year with 5 RBIs. As that pitch is up high for a ball. And that'll leave it to count up now at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to the count. And the pitch to Marr, taken, strike 3 call. So Lagana gets her first strikeout of the afternoon. She's now retired 5 consecutive Dolphins, and with 2 out, no one on, that'll bring up the shortstop, Patricia Riches. Riches single, double, drove home a run, and scored a run for the Dolphins in her first 2 at-bats. Riches takes the first pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. 2 outs, no one on here for the Dolphins in the bottom of the fourth. The wind, the 1-0. Down low for a ball, 2-0. 0-1-5 for the Bearcats. 4-3-0 for the Dolphins. Lagana winds, and the pitch is swung, hit hard to third. Played there on a hop by Park. The throw over to first base. Scooped up nicely by Vichas for the final out of the inning. So the Dolphins go down in order for the first time here this afternoon. Nothing across. 4 complete in the books. Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, getting ready now for the top half of the fifth inning. The Dolphins were retired in order in their half of the fourth inning for the first time here this afternoon. And since Cassandra Lagana came in, she allowed a single and an error on Vanessa Joya, and then Jamie Holmes reached on an error. But since then, she's retired the last 6 Dolphins in a row. And Baruch will come to bat now, trailing by a score here of 4-0. It will be Petrudi, Kissling, and Vijas, 5, 6, and 7, as Nicolette Trapani has also pitched well for the Dolphins. She's retired the last 11 Bearcats she's faced. DeWine, the first pitch to Petrudi, is taken up high for a ball, 1-0. Winner of this game will find themselves watching the next 2, as that's a swing and a miss, and that's going to even the count up now at 1-1. Loser of this game will be playing in game number 3. Hunter and Lehman will face off here in game number 2. The wind and the pitch is taken on the outside corner for a strike, 1-2. As we're about to get underway in baseball as well, we'll bring you updates from that all afternoon long. The pitch is thrown, skied in the air into center field. Drifting over is the second baseman, Ma, and she makes a nice catch behind second base for the first out of the inning. So Petrudi pops up to ball, 1 up, 1 down, and that's going to bring up now the shortstop, Victoria Kissling. Kissling pitched the first 2 innings, moved to short in the third. She's 0 for 1, fly to left in the second. The pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. So Trapani trying to get herself into a little bit of a groove. The 0-1 is taken up even for a ball, 1-1. We'd expect Allison Marr to pitch in game number 2 for the Dolphins this afternoon. And then probably bring back Trapani. If you're a Dolphin fan, as that one is fouled off for a strike, 1-2, you're hoping that you'll bring back Trapani in game number 6 of the tournament with an opportunity to win your 6th consecutive CUNYAC championship. Of course, Jackie Cortella on the mound for the Dolphins in 2017. When they won their 5th consecutive CUNYAC championship. I believe that Jackie pitched a 1-hitter in that game as the Dolphins rolled to their 5th consecutive CUNYAC championship. The 2-2 down low for a ball, 3-2. First full count of the game by Trapani since the first inning, as it's the first time that a Bearcat, I believe, has gone to 3 balls since the first. The 3-2 swung on, bounced back to the mound. Nice backhanded play by Trapani. The throw low, but scooped out by Holmes for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down for the Bearcats, and that's going to bring up Caitlin Vijas. Vijas struck out in the second. She's 0 for 1, as Trapani is now retired the last 12 Bearcats in a row. We mentioned before, Trapani shut out the Bearcats the first time they met, as that's a one-hopper right back to the mound. She fires over to first base, and that'll do it for the Bearcats in their half of the 5th inning. Nothing across. They go down quickly. 4.5 innings in the books with the score. Dolphins 4, Bearcats nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching the 39th annual Modell's CUNYAC Softball Championships right here on your voice for everything CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the fifth inning. The Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0, and the Bearcats have flipped their pitcher and shortstop once again as Kissling will go back to the mound. Lagana will go back to shortstop. A nice job of pitching by Cassandra Lagana. She allowed 1 run, and that was really more a function of bad defense and retired the last 6 Dolphins in a row. So she'll face Galbo, Joyer, and Holmes. 2, 3, and 4 for the Dolphins here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. The Dolphins lead by a score of 4-0, but they have just 3 hits on the afternoon as Galbo takes that first pitch down low for a ball. Galbo sacrificed and fly to right. She's 0 for 1. The wind and the pitch by Kissling is swung out and grounded back to the mound. Bobbled by Kissling, but the throw over to first base in time for the out. So Galbo bounces out 1-3. Bearcat pitching has retired the last 7 Dolphins in a row, and that's going to bring up the catcher now, Vanessa Joya. You know, you go back to that last doubleheader against John Jay, and the Dolphins really didn't hit the ball that well in that doubleheader either. As Joya takes our first pitch for a strike, 0-1. So the Dolphins trying to get their bats going a little bit here. Just 3 hits in this game through 4 1/3. Kissling winds. The 0-1 to Joya is taken outside for a ball, 1-1. Vanessa reached on an error, drove in a run and scored in the first. Singled, went to third on an error, and came home to score on a pass ball in the third. The pitch to Joyer is swung on, and that's drilled deep to left field. That ball is way back, and that ball is gone. Vanessa Joyer drills her first home run of the year for the Dolphins, and the College of Staten Island ups their lead to a score of 5-0. And you could really see that coming from Vanessa. She'd been hitting the ball better and better as of late, had gotten her average up to 380 coming into the game this afternoon, and she's going to get her second RBI, score her 3rd run of the season, of the game I should say, and the Dolphins now lead by a score of 5-0. No doubt about it, off the bat by Vanessa Joyer, the Dolphins pick up their 10th home run of the year, and Vanessa becomes the 5th different Dolphin to hit the ball over the fence, and they now lead by a score of 5-0. Jamie Holmes will be the batter. She swings and skies that one into center field. Bellini drifting over, now in, and makes the catch for the second out. Holmes had reached twice on errors, so she'll now be 0 for 3 on the afternoon. So that's going to bring up Allison Ma. Ma 0 for 2. 0 for 1, I should say. Sacrifice fly, RBI, and fly to left for the Dolphins. The pitch is down low for a ball, 1-0. Dolphins with their 5th run here in the bottom half of the 5th on the long home run by Vanessa Joyer to open up their lead to 5-0. Pitch is down low for a ball, 2-0 on Ma. Gabrielle De Leon on deck. Nicolette Trapani has just allowed 1 base hit on the afternoon. That the first, as Ma hits that one hard into right field, coming up throwing, but not able to get it over in time is going to be Shangarine. Ma singles to right. It's her first hit of the afternoon. The Dolphins pick up their 5th hit of the day, and they now lead by a score of 5-0 as Ma will probably get pitched run for. She will. Caterage will come in to run for Allison here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. So Caterage in to run. The Dolphins with 2 outs here. Their number 6 hitter, Gabriel DeLeon, the left fielder, coming to bat. Gabriel fly to center and fly to left, and she's 0 for 2. The wind. The first pitch is swung on, fouled up over our heads, out of play. 0-1. De Leon down in the count, 0-1. Caterage at first base. The Dolphins, not much of a running team. Just 19 stolen bases on the year and 22 attempts. As that's nubbed back to the mound. It's going to be played there by Kissling. And she'll get it over to first for the final out of the inning. But not before the Dolphins add a run on Vanessa Joya's first home run of the season. 1 run, 2 hits. 1 left, 5 in the books. Dolphins 5, Bearcats nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching the 39th Annual CUNYAC Softball Championships right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the top half of the 6th inning. The Dolphins haven't hit the ball particularly well all afternoon, but Vanessa Joya changed all that as she rocketed her first home run of the year in the bottom half of the 5th. The Dolphins lead by a score of 5-0, and Nicola Trapani is on a roll. She's retired the last 14 Bearcats she's faced, including 5 strikeouts. And she's going to face the bottom of the Bearcat order as it'll be Jangarine, Park, and Lagana. 8-9-1 for Baruch here in the top half of the 6th inning. The Dolphins leading by a score of 5-0. The wind and the pitch just off the outside corner for a ball. That'll even the count up at 1-1. Abba struck out in the top of the 6th. The wind, the pitch is skied up over the dugout now to play. And now Trapani finds herself ahead in the count at 0-2. Trapani looking in for the sign. The 1-2 up high for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 2-2. First of 4 games here this afternoon in the 39th Annual CUNYAC Softball Championships. Dolphins playing in game number 1 as Jangarine will take that one for a strike 3. So Trapani will pick up her 6th strikeout. Jangarine will strike out for the 2nd time this afternoon, and that'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Ju-Young Park. Park struck out in the 3rd inning as well. She's 0 for 1. One out, nobody on. And the first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1, as we're going to have a pinch hitter now for the Bearcats, as it will be number 2, Yasmin Rodriguez, to pinch hit, and the pitch is a swing and a miss. And that's going to run the count to 0-2. Rodriguez batting for the first time here this afternoon. Yasmin coming in 3 of 39 on the year, and she takes that one for a ball, and that's going to run the count now to 1-2. Trapani has retired the last 15 Bearcats in a row, and she leads 5-0. The pitch, so I grounded to short. Riches plays, guns it over to first in time for the second out. So Rodriguez pinch hits and grounds out to shortstop for the second out, and that'll take us back up to the top of the order. And Cassandra Lagana. So Lagana back at shortstop. She pitched innings 3 and 4 for the Bearcats. And she's 0 for 2, grounded back to the mound and grounded to second, and she rolls that one down the first base line foul and is down in the count now at 0 and 1. We're going to go right off after the game so we can get the system set up to bring you game number 2. So not much of a post-game show, as we'll get right off the air so we can get back and get you ready for the start of game number 2. Hunter College against Lehman College. The Hawks with just 2 losses in the conference on the year, as they'll look to challenge the Dolphins, who are looking for their 6th consecutive CUNYAC softball championship. Lagana ahead in the count 2-1 as that swung on and foul back, and that'll even the count up now at 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. No one on for the Bearcats. They trail 5-0. Just 1 hit for Baruch here on the afternoon. That pitch is going to be fouled off over the dugout now to play, and the count will hold at 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes now. And the pitch swung on, grounded hard. A diving attempt at a stop by Holmes, and that's going to be a base hit, and she probably would have been better off just letting it go by. It looked like Ma was right there to make the play, and she could have just went over to first. Instead, Holmes dives on the play, and the Bearcats will be credited with only their 2nd hit of the afternoon on an infield single, and that will break up the streak, as Trapani had retired the last 16 Bearcats in a row. So now 2 out, a runner at first. Gabriel Husso, the batter. That pitch is inside for a ball, now 1-0. So let's see if the Bearcats could take advantage, as the Dolphins allow an opportunity for an out to go by. And the Bearcats looking to get back in the game, and that time Gabriel takes that one for a strike, 1-1. Hueso had the first hit for the Bearcats way back in the first and grounded out unassisted to first. She's 1 for 2. The pitch swung on 1 hop to Galbo. She fires over to first base in time for the final out of the inning. So the Bearcats get a hit, but that's all the damage they could do against Nicolette Trapani in their half of the 6th inning. No runs, a hit, 1 left, 5.5 innings in the books. Dolphins lead by a score of 5-0. We'll step aside, take a break. We're watching the 39th Annual CUNYAC Softball Championships, brought to you by Model Sporting Goods, right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the 6th inning, and it looks like Erica Olsen is going to pinch hit here for Christina Severiso. Severiso walked and scored a run and popped to third, so she was 0 for 1 officially, and now Erica Olsen will get her first opportunity to bat in the CUNYAC Championships. Erica, a freshman, getting off to a good start in her freshman year for the CSI Dolphins, showing a lot of promise, batting .237 on the year. She had 3 doubles in her 9 base hits and drove in 8 runs, and she'll lead off here in the sixth for the Dolphins. The first pitch to Olsen is taken for a strike, 0-1. Olsen, Quintella, and Moss scheduled to bat for the Dolphins, who lead by a score of 5-0 here in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Victoria Kissling back on the mound. And the pitch is swung on, rip foul down the left field line, out of play. She's down to the count now, 0-2. Kissling pitched the first and second, came back to pitch the fifth, and now comes out to pitch the sixth for the Bearcats. Olsen looking to get the Dolphins started here this afternoon. The wind and the pitch is swung on, grounded over to shortstop. Lagana plays and guns it over to first base in time for the out, so Olsen is the first out here in the sixth. So Nicole Malak will now come in, as she will pinch hit for Juliana Quintella. Here in the sixth, Quintella was 0 for 2, and now the left-handed Malak will get her first at-bat of the afternoon as head coach Stella Porto trying to get a couple of her players at-bats here late in game number 1. Dolphins 3 outs away from advancing into the winners game. Game number 4 this afternoon should take place scheduled about 5 o'clock. Games usually run a little bit later as that first pitch is up high for a ball, 1-0. Game number 1 of the CUNYAC softball championships here. Game number 2 of the baseball championships taking place right up the hill at the CSI baseball complex. Malak ahead in the count, 1-0, and that ball's outside for a ball, 2-0. Nicole batting 130 on the year, 3 of 23, with a double and 4 RBIs. The wind and the pitch to Malak is swung on and fouled off, and the count goes to 2-1. Interesting shift here by the Bearcats. 3 players on the right side of the infield, 2 players on the left, just 2 outfielders, and nobody in right field, and Malak could definitely hit the ball down the right field line. The pitch is swung and fouled off the mask of the umpire, and that's going to even the count up now at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, no one on for the Dolphins. We're in the bottom half of the sixth inning. They lead by a score of 5-0, the 5-time defending CUNYAC champions. The wind and the pitch is swung on, and that's ripped toward shortstop. It's going to be off the glove and into center field as Lagana got her glove on it but couldn't make the play. That's going to be scored a hit. And Malak will now be on first base with 1 out. So another pinch hitter will come up here for the Dolphins as Taylor Pecorillo will now pinch hit for Christian Marr. Marr sacrificed and struck out. She's 0 for 1, and getting you Taylor's numbers on the year, another good freshman campaign. She was 5 of 16, scored 4 runs, and drove in a couple for the Dolphins. 1 out, 1 on now, as Malak out on first base. And the right-handed freshman, the batter, and takes that pitch up high for a ball, 1-0. Throw to first base. And Pecorillo now ahead in the count, 2-0. The wind, the pitch is bunted foul. And that's going to run the count now to 2-1. We're the bottom half of the 6th inning, and the Dolphins lead by a score of 5-0. Malak on first base. Pecorello the batter. The 2-1 is swung on, that's drilled into right center field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Bellini comes up throwing, and the throw to third will not be in time as Park not able to get the tag down, and going to second base on the throw will be Taylor Pecorello. It's a 1-out single, and the Dolphins threaten once again as they now have runners on second and third, 1 out, and that will bring us back to the top of the order. And Patricia Riches, and Riches is the game-winning run at the plate here for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the 6th. So second and third now for the Dolphins, 1 out. Riches 2 hits already on the afternoon. She scored a run, drove in a run, singled and doubled. As she swings and lines that one into left field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Hueso gets the ball into Lagana at shortstop. It's a single and an RBI for Patricia Riches. And the College of Staten Island now leads by a score of 6-0. And Riches represents the game-winning run at first base with 1 out. And Antoinette Galbo, the batter. Galbo 0 for 2 and a sacrifice for the Dolphins here this afternoon. Kissling looking in for the side. The first pitch to Galbo is off the glove. It gets away. Coming in to score will be Pecorello, and Riches will go all the way around to third. And now the Dolphins 60 feet away from a win here in game number 1. So the pass ball allows Pecorello to score. Riches never hesitates. She goes all the way around to third. And if Antoinette Galbo can drive in Patricia Riches from third base, the Dolphins will secure the win here in game number 1. Riches reaches base 3 times this afternoon. She scored a run already, and she represents the game-winning run at third with 1 out. I think the count is 1-0 on Galbo. It is. 1 ball, no strikes on Galbo as Kissling looks in for the side. The pitch to Antoinette. She shows bunt and misses, and that'll even the count up at 1-1 as Riches comes home to score the game-winning run as she lured Petrudi into throwing the ball down to third. Park dropped the ball. Riches comes home to score. And just like that, the CSI Dolphins win by a score of 8-0. So Patricia Riches comes off third base, and Petrudi threw the ball to Park. I believe that'll be an error on the third baseman, Park, that will allow Riches to score. That will be the 6th run, or it might actually be scored at stolen base. We'll have to get the official scoring. But nonetheless, the Dolphins win the game by a final score of 8-0, 8-7-0 for the Dolphins, 0-2-5 for the Bearcats. For the Dolphins, Nicolette Trapani will pick up the win. She ups her record to 10-6 on the year. Victoria Kissling will pick up the loss. She drops to 4-9. She pitched better than the final line indicated. The Dolphins win game number 1 by a score of 8-0. Vanessa Joya picks up her first home run of the season. It will be her 8th. We're going to step aside. We're going to go off the air for a few minutes, and then we'll be back in 15-20 minutes or so to get you ready for the start of game number 2 as Hunter College will face Lehman College in game number 2. So that's going to wrap things up here from the CSI Sportsnet. This is Mike Babuski from the CSI Softball Complex. We'll step aside, take a break. Once again, the Dolphins win game number 1 by a final score of 8-0. They will advance into the winners game in game number 4. Baruch will play in game number 3, and Hunter College will face Lehman College in about a half hour, 45 minutes. So we'll step aside, take a break as you're watching the 39th annual CUNYAC Softball Championships, brought to you by Model Sporting Goods on your voice of everything, CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.